Coming up next on this edition of In the City, 3 young girls at one local Murfreesboro City school are gaining national attention with a brand new invention. The city and MTSU work together to make streams healthier. Plus, the Discovery Center recently had some visitors that damaged the property, but they're not who you think they are. And the Murfreesboro Planning Commission held a very important meeting on the historic Bottoms and North Highland studies. We'll tell you all about those stories and more coming up right now on this edition of In the City. Welcome to another edition of In the City, your source for what's happening right here in the city of Murfreesboro. I'm Cecilia Herrell. 3 young girls at Erma Siegel Elementary School created a new invention to help children with disabilities. The invention is now gaining the girls' national attention as they prepare to compete in the National Invention Convention. I went and spoke to the talented young girls to learn more.
This is our invention, the Easy Swingsuit!
Many people have great ideas, but it's not every day that 3 young girls turn a great idea into reality.
I'm Cameron and I'm in 5th grade.
I'm Aaron and I'm in 5th grade. I'm Sky and I'm in 5th grade.
Angela Pope, a teacher at Erma Siegel Elementary School, has been taking students to the Invention Convention at MTSU since 2003. But this is one of the best inventions she has ever seen.
Oh my goodness, like the ingenuity of what they came up with and the heart and the compassion behind it.
The idea formed as children in Miss Pope's class partnered with the Comprehensive Development class. Every Friday, the 2 classes come together for some fun on the playground. But these girls noticed their little buddies had issues balancing on the swings. The girls knew they wanted to figure out a way these children could swing without the risk of falling. This is how the Easy Swingsuit came to life.
Miss Owen Davis and I do Little Buddies with her CDC class and my 5th graders. And we paired them up, and so we go once a week and read with them, and we do a lot of other activities with them, and it really just shows me the power and the strength behind that and those relationships that they've built, that they would think to do something like this for their little buddy.
First, to attach the Easy Swingsuit, you wrap the belts around the swing, then you attach the clips to the chain.
Second, you attach the clips that are attached to the suit to the swing. Third, you strap the child in, and bam, you're ready to swing.
We competed in the 5th grade Make Life Easier, and we got 1st place, and we were the only people from that category, I think, to go to nationals.
Well, the next level is for us to go to Washington in June.
But they need your help to get there. If you would like to donate toward the trip, you can send donations to the school at 135 West Thompson Lane, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 37129. If you have questions, please call Cindy Price at 615-904-1002 or email her at cindy.price@cityschools.net.
Even if we don't win Invention Convention, we're hoping we can at least go somewhere where they'll let us reproduce these and help everyone around the world.
Reporting for CityTV, I'm Cecilia Herrell. The city's stormwater department has been working with MTSU's stormwater program for years to improve the streams and rivers here locally. Recently, they came together for a stream bank planting event at the Jordan Farm near Siegel Soccer Park.
The Murfreesboro Stormwater Department's objective is to reduce the discharge of pollutants into our waterways, protect water quality, and abide by the Clean Water Act. One of the ways the city enhances streams and rivers is to plant vegetation along the banks. This project is one of many around the city in partnership with MTSU.
We're out at what was called the Jordan Farm, also the new addition to the Siegel Soccer Park. This is a really neat site because you got a lot of different things going on here. You have the city's reuse water is being land applicated out here on one side of the farm, and then now the other side of the farm we're putting additional soccer fields in. And so we have a channel running through this property that classified to be a stream. And so what we're doing now, we've got some really good MTSU students out here, and they're helping us plant trees along the stream. As you can see, there's not much of a riparian zone.
So we kind of have tree layers and shrub layers, and all the different layers work together to protect the stream. And that, really the key thing is keeping that temperature down. So it keeps pollutants out, but it also keeps that temperature down. And there's just a lot of help that a riparian zone does to the stream.
We work with MTSU a lot, and so what they're doing is they're planting some Shumard oaks and then some native shrubs, and so not only stabilize the bank but provide habitat to the stream.
So over the years we've developed this really strong relationship between the City of Murfreesboro and MTSU and the MTSU volunteer groups. We work out of the stormwater program for MTSU and try to collaborate and get together all of these students from a vast variety of campus areas, interest, classes, student organizational groups. Every time we do one of these, they always end up saying, I would have never got out there and do that. This was really fun. And I think we broadened their horizons a little bit too, besides just sitting in a classroom and teaching. So we get to utilize all those service hours that are needed for our wonderful projects.
With other stream bank improvement projects, such as Old Fort Park and Garrison Creek off of Las Casas Highway dating back to 2010, it has proved successful.
We've got pretty good proof that stream quality goes up when you put a riparian zone along a stream. And so we would like to see these zones get established at many other streams in the city. This happened to be the perfect place because we have all these different city uses happening here, and then the Parks Department has put in a great soccer facility. So I think it's all working together to be really good.
We'd like to have a special thanks to all the MTSU volunteers that help us in our program and work all over the City of Murfreesboro.
The Discovery Center was recently damaged by visitors, but these visitors are not who you might think. They're actually hundreds of black vultures. Hidden right in the middle of Murfreesboro at the Discovery Center is 25 acres of vast wetlands owned by the City of Murfreesboro. Wetlands are one of the most productive ecosystems in the world and are home to many different types of animals. But the Discovery Center wetlands recently had some unwelcome guests. These trees behind me were filled with hundreds of black vultures up until last week. The black vultures were on their migration pattern up north, but decided to extend their stay here at the Discovery Center wetlands. They did not leave without doing their fair share of damage.
Well, we had a roost of black vultures that appeared probably around late November of last year, and other than just being an eyesore, they eventually started causing some damage to the roof of the Discovery Center, and we found that out late January. There was a big rainstorm that came through, and as the rain was pouring on the roof, it started to pour inside the building because of the damage that they had caused.
Black vultures stand over 2 feet tall and have a wingspan up to 5.5 feet. It is actually illegal to kill these birds because they are protected under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act of 1918. The City of Murfreesboro contacted the USDA to help with the overwhelming number of vultures.
We strung some fishing line and other wire on the roof just to sort of prevent them from being able to land up there. We put some spike strips up on the roof to keep them from landing there. We also strung some mylar shiny ribbon that would sort of wave back and forth in the wind to discourage them from landing there. If it hit their feet, they wouldn't like that, and they also don't really like the shiny objects.
After 4 months of the birds leaving large droppings, causing damages to walkways, defacing the railing, and causing structural damage to the Discovery Center, the birds are finally gone.
Finally, all of them seemed to really go away last week, and what had happened was the USDA finally had to come out and they used what they refer to as pyrotechnics. None of the vultures were actually injured during this process, but they make a big loud bang and a big flash, and that sort of scares the vultures, and that seemed to get rid of them.
These wetlands help teach citizens to appreciate, understand, and protect local wildlife. If you would like to learn more about the wetlands, please visit our website at murfreesborotn.gov. If you would like more information about the Discovery Center, please visit explorethedc.org. Reporting for CityTV, I'm Cecilia Herrell. 2 downtown studies have been going on simultaneously to enhance the area and bring more focus to it. Both plans were brought to the Planning Commission for their recommendation to the City Council.
Downtown Murfreesboro may have historic charm, but for a city expanding outward, its downtown must also acquire a larger footprint. That's the recommendation of the Murfreesboro 2035 Comprehensive Plan and 2 Murfreesboro draft land use studies, which recognize the importance of downtown investment and downtown redevelopment. As a principal planner, Matthew Blomley has been intimately involved in all 3, which call for compatible mixed-use development within existing urban areas. That means a variety of housing types and densities, along with commercial development. Takeaway: mixed use enhances walkability and reduces vehicular traffic.
One of its key strategies for economic development in our city is to invest downtown.
Planners believe that one of the most attractive qualities of any community is a vibrant and healthy downtown. As part of the North Highland Avenue study and the Historic Bottom study, citizens gathered over the past several months with consultants and city planners to brainstorm ideas about how best to make downtown Murfreesboro just such a vibrant community. Reagan Smith Associates conducted 9-month studies of the 2 areas, one the North Highland area surrounding downtown, highlighted in yellow, and the other, Historic Bottoms, highlighted in red.
What we found is that we were really engaging in something that covered the whole downtown area. The pink areas are what we're calling mixed-use nodes, and those are areas where we really see a concentration opportunity of greater density and a greater mixture of not only residential but office, commercial mixed in. And then the yellow areas are what we highlighted as areas that were very important to keep as single family.
Consultants told the Planning Commission that the goal of this planning would provide personalized streetscape and a high level of architectural detail. It would also create dynamic public spaces in the downtown area. The public voiced strong support for an art and entertainment district to create a destination point in the downtown area. Elements in the district would include walkability, cultural elements, and a mix of historic character and new areas to expand development. One of the major challenges for planners centers on changing transportation networks so travel lanes become more conducive to walking and biking.
What we're looking at now is if you are heading down Broad Street, heading, into downtown, and you can see the Lytle Street roundabout, which has already been created on the left-hand side of the screen. If you look towards the center of the illustration, you'll kind of see that sense of weaving green space, our greenway. We need to highlight Town Creek and Lytle Creek, make those water features, those natural elements, a part of downtown again.
As a private residence living right in the downtown middle of it, I think this is a good plan overall.
Come out of a project like this, a government project like this, with a plan that you can look through and actually get excited about. Our downtown, I think, is pretty cool in its own regard.
We want to support the growth and continued investment in our community, and also the drafts of these studies are just forming a great foundation for this continued investment in the heart of Murfreesboro, which is the heart of Tennessee.
I want to applaud the city of Murfreesboro for both of these concepts. They add excitement to the downtown area, and not only will they bring in visitors, tourists, but most importantly, this concept will bring enjoyment to the people who live here.
City planner Donald Anthony worked with consultants to develop the draft Historic Bottom study. It included a tour by state historian Dr. Carol Van West of an area between Broad Street and CSX Railroad, once known for low terrain and flooding.
While we were in the bottoms, we saw a lot of constraints, but we saw many more opportunities and potential solutions.
A vision for the neglected area took shape that was also refined by more than 200 citizens who participated in public workshops. Ideas and concerns are reflected in the draft plan for the area.
What you'll see is that red area that we call downtown is now actually part of the Historic Bottoms.
The pink area, consultants envision for higher density with commercial, residential, and office space mixing together. Developing downtown will require significant government investment in joint private-public partnerships, say consultants. Such investment prevents the plan from becoming too incremental or piecemeal. The Bottoms would develop the same industrial character seen in other larger warehouse districts.
We think that, there's already some of that occurring within the historic Bottoms, and we could embrace that.
Bridging the historic square and downtown with the Bottoms would call for a pedestrian bridge that would make it easier to cross Broad. Newer amenities would include an amphitheater that would serve Uncle Dave Macon Days, but also large entertainment venue events. Daylighted Town Creek, already underway, would connect the Discovery Center to Cannonsburg, Lytle Creek, and the Greenway. The key is to make an expanded downtown a destination point.
Maybe this is the place for that natural and cultural trail that we discussed. Once people arrive in Murfreesboro, they get on this trail and they could spend the whole day connecting to these destination points.
I want to just point out that this shows great imagination. I think talking about the bridge over Broad, all you have to do is go to Nashville and look at Shelby Street Bridge and see what a great asset that has become for Nashville.
I just want to thank you for considering this, and hats off to y'all.
We're not just daylighting, Town Creek. We're daylighting the fact that Murfreesboro stands on its own 2 feet and can be recognized, across the nation, even the world.
Following public favor, the Murfreesboro Planning Commission recommended both draft studies for approval by the City Council, which must still weigh in with final approval on the plans. They will guide city planners to begin creating a formal land use district to make the vision reality. Mike Browning, CityTV.
Murfreesboro is full of history, and the residents have also left their mark on some very historic events. For the month of April, Linebaugh Library will be hosting a World War I display with items from local residents who served in the war. Linebaugh Public Library is honored to host a month-long display to honor the service of Rutherford County residents who served in World War I in memory of the 100th anniversary of America's entry into the war on April 6, 1917. Artifacts of longtime resident Lawrence J. Frenchie Lemieux will be on display, provided by his daughter Libby Green.
I know he would be very, very happy that not he as an individual, but all of the soldiers that served with him are getting recognition 100 years later.
The display will also include items of William Thomas Robinson and Mary Ross, the grandparents of Linebaugh Board and Foundation member Marcy Richmond. The memorabilia of these veterans will be on display in the second-floor reading room at Linebaugh Library throughout the month of April. Reporting for CityTV, I'm Cecilia Herrell. A simple idea to help kids fit in better with their peers has been introduced to the Murfreesboro City Schools. The beauty of this idea is the simplicity of it and that it was invented by a child.
Murfreesboro City Schools' motto is to assure academic and personal success for each child. So having each child feel included and safe is important to achieve this. The Buddy Bench was invented by a 7-year-old to help kids that feel left out to interact with other students.
I was 7 when I thought of the idea for the Buddy Bench. We were about to move to Germany for my dad's job, and we were looking at pictures of the school that my sister and I would be going to one day, and I saw a Buddy Bench on the playground, and I asked my family, what is this? And then once I learned what it was about, I thought we should have it at our school.
Scales Elementary is the first Murfreesboro City school to get a Buddy Bench.
Well, I think we have students who register for schools throughout the school year. In fact, we have some new to Scales this year. In a school as large as Scales with 950 students, it can be a little intimidating coming into a school so large, and this is just another way for them to feel included on the playground.
The idea is actually quite simple, as the inventor of the concepts explains.
If you are lonely and don't have anything to do at recess, you go sit on the Buddy Bench and someone will come over to you and ask you if you like to play or talk.
I think really the Buddy Benches will be just a great representation of what we're about in Murfreesboro City and to social emotional learning, so I think as much as anything it'll really represent what we're about.
I was at Scales a couple of weeks ago, and Dr. George Smith was speaking to the kids about bullying, and he talked about the Buddy Bench, and the God put it in my spirit, said, let's put a buddy bench in all of the schools. And so I went to Dr. Gilbert, and Dr. Gilbert approved that. So my goal is by next April to have the buddy bench in all the schools.
Starting last September, I did a tour in the surrounding areas in Nashville, talking to students about anti-bullying and being confident, and just awareness of an NFL player like me. I've been through myself, but I was very shy. So I love the buddy bench because I wasn't comfortable going and say, hey, I want to play with you. So especially for new students or any student to sit on a bench and maybe somebody more confident, hey, you want to come play with me? Sure, yes, I've been waiting for somebody to ask me. So it's a good thing. So I love that they have the buddy bench here in Murfreesboro.
If the concept of a bench being able to break down barriers and help kids interact with each other seems like a simple idea, well, it is.
Kids sometimes have the simplest and best ideas, and sometimes we brush them off because they're kids and we think, oh, well, that's too easy, why would that work? And some of the easiest ideas are some of the best ones.
And the idea will be that we'll put it on the playground, and students that are new to skills or need a friend to play with will come sit on the bench, and we'll ask students to go over and show an act of kindness and play with that student.
In a learning environment, it's going to enhance their learning experience, and also it's going to promote friendships and inclusion. In fact, I'm going to ask all the schools to create a color and then to decorate their own bench so they'll show ownership in the bench.
When you look at what we are doing as far as approaching the whole child, I think the buddy bench will be an important part of that.
You hear stories all the time about people being robbed, carjacked, or even kidnapped. I have some helpful advice for you if you ever find yourself in that terrifying situation. It's a nightmare situation. You're trapped in a dark trunk being taken somewhere. Unfortunately, this becomes a reality for a small number of Americans every year. The City of Murfreesboro and the Murfreesboro Police Department have some helpful advice to keep you safe if you ever find yourself in this situation, and what to do to keep this from happening to you. If you ever find yourself being kidnapped, obviously dialing 911 on your cell phone is the first thing that comes to mind. But sometimes that's not always an option. I'll show you what to do if this ever happens to you. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration requires all new passenger cars with trunks be equipped with a release latch inside the trunk compartment since September 1st, 2001. These release latches are typically glow in the dark and easy to find. According to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, in 2015, there were 19 reported kidnappings or abductions in Rutherford County. If this were to happen to you, the best way to keep yourself safe is to not end up being taken to a different location.
We feel that you're always safer to deal with an abduction or any kind of an attack in the original location. We encourage you to make noise. Don't scream, but yell. Yell for help. Yell things like, no, let go of me, I don't know you. Things to draw attention and, as we put it, to create witnesses.
The odds of being abducted increase for women. According to the National Crime Information Center, nearly 20,000 more women compared to men were abducted in 2010 right here in the United States. Luckily, the Murfreesboro Police Department has ways to help you not become a statistic.
We conduct a program here called RAD Women. Rape Aggression Defense is what the RAD stands for. In the RAD Women class, we teach fight to escape. So you fight, you escape, therefore you're not kidnapped, you're not taken somewhere else. We deal a lot with avoiding being grabbed or being stopped from having freedom of movement. If you want to join the RAD Women class that's coming up in May, you can call the police annex at 615-895-3874, or you can email me directly at anorville@murfreesborotn.gov, and I'll get you all the paperwork that you need. Pre-registration is needed so that we know how many to prepare the class for, and we do max the class out at about 25 ladies.
Reporting for CityTV, I'm Cecilia Herrell. In other news, Rutherford County is hosting a household hazardous waste collection event. The event will be May 13th, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Murfreesboro City Solid Waste Department, located on 4765 Florence Road. You can call 615-898-7739 for more information on acceptable and unacceptable items. The Oscars came to Patterson Park when Murfreesboro City Schools Extended School Program held its very first Lego Stop Motion Movie Maker Awards. All 12 Murfreesboro City schools had participating students. The evening started with red carpet interviews and a performance by Bradley's Musical Theater and Mitchell Nielsen's Step Troupe. There were winners in 15 different categories. This event is just one way the ESP program is expanding its offerings to meet a broader interest in the city's children. For more information about the Extended School Program, you can visit the City Schools website anytime at www.cityschools.net. The City of Murfreesboro has a brand new addition. Russell A. Brashear is the new Assistant Transportation Director. Brashear has over 25 years experience and previously served transit management roles in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Florida. Brashear began his duties on March 20th. The Murfreesboro Electric Department Board of Directors appointed P.D. Mynatt as the new General Manager of the utility. Mynatt is currently serving as Interim General Manager. He has served as the Chief Financial Officer for over 27 years at MED.
Very invested in this company and the people that work here. It seemed like a good opportunity for me to transition Murfreesboro Electric Department into a little bit more integration with the city, to move on from last couple of years. Have been a little anxious for some of our employees with the merger talks with Middle Tennessee Electric and the change in governance. I think it was just good that I could remain for a couple more years and provide stability and move our company forward. I'm honored to be selected to lead this group of people and this organization and serve the city of Murfreesboro. I'm looking forward to the challenge.
The Power Board's appointment of Mynatt as General Manager not only provides steady leadership, but also ensures MED can continue to provide excellent service to the people of Murfreesboro well into the future. Well, that's it for this edition of In the City. As always, for more information about the City of Murfreesboro, you can visit our website at murfreesborotn.gov. And if you want to see one of the stories that you've seen today or catch up on some of the latest city news, you can always visit the City of Murfreesboro's YouTube channel. I'm Cecilia Herrell, and until next time, we look forward to seeing you in the city.